que batia, ardia. Nem tudo era dureza, tinha natureza e o mar pra mergulhar. Eu já sei remar contra a maré, mas não venha me pedir pra andar de ré, pois é. Ah, já sou gato escaldado nessa trilha ando descalço. Não é você que vai fazer eu tropeçar ou duvidar ou tropeçar ou duvidar.
No texting, no writing, nobody telling me what to say. This from the brain, from the heart, from the soul, from the streets. I'm a bitch from the streets. I get that money. I get that money. Bitch, give me what you got. I get.
Say what's wrong or right. No. It's not hard to fool me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yeah. Lead the way. I follow. No need to say. Where we are heading now, babe. I follow. So tell you good lies, 'cause I'll find no better one, yeah. Susceptible
It's been a while.
What is it this time? You just want to be held, or you want LD?
The thing is, I want the LD, baby. And then I want to be held. That's all right with you?
You know me. It's my duty to please that booty.
All right. Happy Tuesday to everyone that's out here tonight. Shout out to all, man, I just got to say this before I go any further. Shout out to all the newer subscribers that just recently subscribed to the Black Bottom Broadcast. You are the true MVP. Let's help build this community, y'all. Let's we getting it from the bottom. And the best thing that I like to do is do things organically. I don't try to go off of constraints. I don't try to go off of trying to piggyback off what someone else is doing. I don't try to go back. I don't try to just utilize other people's talking points in the content, space to try to make myself to be something that I'm not. And if I do use your stuff, I'm gonna give you shouts out for it because it was some cool shit to say. But anyway, shout out to everybody that's tuning in tonight. You are here with another edition of the Black Bottom Roscast. I am your host, Ross Lee. Well, we are here to bring the real, have a good time, and have fun doing it. Hope everyone is having a blessed day. I hope everyone has been enjoying, the week so far. I hope everyone is in good health. I hope everyone had a great weekend. But I'm definitely hoping that everyone is striving to be the best version of themselves. I know y'all see the title of the show. I know y'all saw the thumbnail that I put up. We got a lot to talk about, man. And I'm speaking strictly to the black community. I'm speaking strictly to black men and women. I am speaking strictly to y'all. Now, if anyone else want to jump in, hey, y'all more than welcome to jump in and give y'all opinions, y'all comments, y'all feedback, and all that. But this is gonna be a niggadom show. Yeah, I said it. Like what? Yeah, I'm making up words. This is gonna be a niggadom show because we got some problems that's going on right now in our community that is so dysfunctional. I know I normally start with a body cam. I'm not doing a body cam tonight. I'll probably do that Friday. But we're gonna get right into a lot of stuff. I'm not about to go into a long monologue. I know sometimes, like I said, I've been trying to cut my stuff down. I promise you. I know if you look at my archives, you see some live streams is 3.5 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours. I promise you, I am not going to be here too long because I know some of y'all attention span ain't that long. And unless you watching my shorts, which I do appreciate y'all watching my shorts after I do a live stream, because I'll chop my stuff up, put certain excerpts on, on the platform, and you check those out. All right, that's cool. I appreciate it. I do appreciate all of the newer subscribers. You gotta forgive me. I'm struggle streaming. I'm broke. I ain't got no money. Don't drive no fancy car. So if I'm not shouting you out, hold on. If I'm not shouting you out as far as my new subscribers, please forgive me. I'll go in my email and see if I can check them or go on my actual, settings and see who's the newer ones. I know who's new and who's been here since A1 day one. So shout out to everybody that's tuned in. Shout out to Daniela fan number 4. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? I see you newer in the family. So shout out to you. Definitely shout out to one of my A1 day ones, Mr. J. Haywood, 9635. Shout out to you. If anybody else has been tuning in and has been subscribing, you're more than welcome to post in the comments. You know what I'm saying? You're more than welcome to just give your thoughts, your feedbacks, your opinions of anything that we talk about. This is a grown folks channel. This is not a one-sided channel. I'm not red pill, I'm not black pill, I'm not pink pill, but I do advocate for the black men. But what I would not tolerate is fuckery amongst our community, amongst ourselves as men, and with our women. We got to start holding each other accountable. Shame needs to start coming back in the community. You know what I'm saying? Yes, definitely. Thank you, wifey, for putting that up there. Shout out to wifey. I've been working hard, haven't been feeling well, and having different things going on, but always know, man, the Most High is with you. As long as you got love and family, nothing can stop what you got going on. Always remember that. But excuse me. I know y'all been hearing about this whole Ashley Janae thing. There's been a lot of different newer accounts that's been coming up, and it's really starting to make me wonder what really went on in Zanzibar. I know a lot of people want to be quick to blame the Brad, right? But there's some other things that's going on in this that could happen as well. You know, there are situations where foreigners go to other countries thinking they're about to live it up in a lap of luxury and take advantage of all the resources they got in the land and, you know, all the splendor to try to portray yourself of living this extravagant lifestyle. But some of us is barely able to pay bills on a monthly, you know. But it could be some other things that could be going on with that whole situation. And it could be deeper than what we all think. Okay. I just came across this video the other day. I'm trying to think, hold on, who actually sent this? Oh, my man AC, Accountability Commentary. He actually did a reaction to this about a day or so ago about that Ashley Janae paid for the trips, plus her best friend believes that her fiance didn't do this. So, you know, we're going to get right to it. Without further ado, hey, hit the like button on the way in and subscribe if you are new. But we're going to see what AC had to talk about with this. We're going to give our own accounts to it as well. But let's go.
From what we now know, Ashley was the one who paid for the trip and organized everything. Ashley was the one who paid for the trip and organized everything. Ashley was the one who paid for the trip and organized everything. Ashley was the one who paid for the trip and organized everything. On top of that,
Poor.
That card in an argument on X. And by the way, there are a couple of photos of the woman I believe is the ex-wife on Joe's social media and multiple posts tagging her. Again, there have been claims that he's divorced, and I'm not sure how true that is, but the wife or ex-wife has allegedly been giving her POV. Side note, I have also seen several reports that he had been married twice, but I could not confirm this. First of all, allegedly according to this woman, Joe is broke, and this could actually explain some things that don't make sense.
Poor.
This is Ashley.
I finally figured out what POV means. That means point of view. So pardon me for being old and not knowing certain, shorthand terminology of new school, internet talk in text. But I finally found out. I was thinking, I'm like, what the fuck is POV? I'm old. I don't know. Prov? I mean, I don't know. Poverty? I mean, shit, I don't know. I didn't know what the fuck that was, but I just had to really think about it. I'm like, damn, okay, point of view. All right, so with that being said, let's go on with the video. I just had to say that.
Ashley Janae's best friend, her best friend Look at this. I want y'all I want you to see what she has to say on this situation.
I just know that you guys know less than I do, and I've known her for years. I know of Joe. I knew personally. I knew Ashley. And all I'm saying is that a lot of questions are up in the air. Don't blame anybody, because for all we know, it was hotel staff.
Like, seriously.
Poor.
When when are y'all going to give your big bro AC his props? Huh? Like, seriously. Like, seriously. When these content creators, these these black male content creators that was doing stories on this situation, right? They had a lot of information that they was giving out that was accurate, that was very accurate. They had a message that that I rock with. They had a message that I rock with. But one thing they just didn't get past, that I just couldn't get past when I hear some of them do stories about it. They kept mentioning that she was getting paid, like she was getting money. She was getting money from him. He was paying for everything. They kept mentioning how he was a millionaire, and me knowing how that dynamic go between Brad and Keisha, I was like, nah, man, I don't believe it. I don't believe that.
And unfortunately, and I have to say this as well, because I've been watching throughout the years as well, I don't see a lot of rich Brads cuffing and wiping these Keishas, these black girls. I don't. There is a small number. I actually saw, hold on. I'm gonna pull this up, right? I actually saw something that was very interesting. What is going on about all this? According to a study by Robert E.T. L. on spousal homicide, white men are 5 times more likely to unalive their wife if she is black than if she was white. Okay. This was from in particular study. Also, there is less than 0.05% of black women who are married in this country to white men. So while you guys want to sit here and try to put this narrative that, oh, y'all leaving black men for the Brads and they're doing a better they're doing better by you and this, that, and the third, the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. Out of the small percentage of the black women that date these Brads, they even getting rid of your ass. And I'm not trying to say this to say that, oh, that he had something to do with her demise out there in Tanzania. I'm just saying in general, when you do the numbers and the small number of sisters that are actually dating or being married to these men. But anyway, I just have to put that out there. But anyway, let's go.
He was paying for anything. You can't convince me. You're going to have to show me. I'm going to have to see some receipts. I don't believe he was paying for anything. Then it turns out that she paid for the trip. She paid for the trip there. Why is she paying for anything? Why is she paying for a trip if he's a millionaire?
Because the whole thing is with black women that want to divest, that want to swirl, all these terms that y'all made online to label you guys, you ladies rather. I'm sorry. Want to label you ladies as far as dating outside of the community, so to speak. Y'all felt that this was a flex. Y'all felt that it was some kind of get back to all the bad decisions and relationships that you had with your own people, with your own men. And what's real interesting and kind of ridiculous is that you bash black men for dating outside of the community venomously online in your little groups, you know, group chats and all these things. Y'all bash black men for doing what you praise the so-called sisterhood to do. And I don't even know why y'all keep saying that shit, because more and more evidence I'm seeing there is no sisterhood in the black community. You women can't stand each other. You're jealous of each other. You want to try to get over on each other. You'll try to sleep with a motherfucker's man if you had a chance, and rub it in their face on top of it. Y'all reckless, a lot of you. I mean, not saying that this is something new that, people, go outside their relationships and shit like that. But the women of the day, the black women of the day, y'all on some new time. Y'all on some new motion. Y'all don't care. Y'all be wanting to smoke in most cases, and it's insane. But hey, let's go. Let's keep going with this.
Now, the ex-wife, right, said that he was aggressive and that he was broke. Here's my thing, right? It doesn't matter if he was rich or broke. Keisha will be with them regardless and pay for things even if they have money. That's my point. That's my point. Brad knows he's the prize. He know he's the prize to these Keishas. So even if he has the money or not, he's not going to pay for nothing. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to. She paid for the trip. If she's living this soft girl era with, this soft life, she shouldn't have to dip in her purse for anything. That's not what happens. How many times we seen this story? We saw this story what is it? Queen of Kings. We seen that story with them. We saw that with the McClures. We see that even in Hollywood. Halle Berry, Aisha Tyler, Rachel Lindsay. Man, the list goes on. They pay for these brads. It's not the other way around. So,
because just to be honest with you, a high earning Brad, 9 times out of 10, unless she's a special kind of Keisha, is not going to do all that with them. I keep telling y'all, and I've said this for years. I know y'all saying it's a double standard. Well, man, black men can date white women, and what's the problem? And it's always a problem within the community that they coming outside the community. Black men don't look at dating outside of their race, especially when it comes to white women, as some kind of a get back psychologically. Okay, because we know that the dichotomy, we know the psychological effects that our forefathers dealt with on the plantation. We understand that Massa had his picks and chooses to be the house Negro and the field Negro, both man and woman. Keep in mind, he raped us all. It wasn't, you know, Becky with the pitchfork that was the slave master's wife. It was John with the whip that was going through the slave quarters, butt breaking the men, going into the women's quarters, popping off babies with them, putting some of them in the big house, keeping the rebellious ones in the field. And the shit went on and on and on and on and on, whereas a lot of those women in our community decided that maybe in order for me to have a better life, I'd rather deal with the abuse and the bullshit with Brad than my own man. This has been going on far, far longer than Oprah, Ricky Lake, and all those other shows. This has been embedded in us for centuries. And people's like, well, we need reparations. Why should I subscribe for reparations to the Black community when the Black community is so broken that it wouldn't make a difference how much money did they give us? We'll still jack it off. We still won't build with each other. We still won't regenerate our monies. We still won't invest in things to generate more money. It would just be a slough of internet clips and videos of you motherfuckers showing off everything you buy, showing off all the money and cash that you got in your hand. Wouldn't invent shit, won't open no schools, won't start up no hospitals, won't open up no new businesses other than hair and lashes and bullshit products from other people, not your own. You know, it used to be a time where our people used to invent things, but because of the stigma and the racism of the world, we didn't get the credit for that shit. Someone else did, and it wasn't us. I think the only thing that I've witnessed in my lifetime was Sears and Roebuck, because Roebuck was Black. But you see where that franchise went, it's no longer in existence. So before y'all want to start downing or pointing fingers at the degenerate behavior of the Black community, then you really need to understand where the root of it all came from. And then when you understand where it all came from, do something to change
it. He's living off of the money that she makes, and on top of that, after the unfortunate situation that happened with her and being over there, how come he's not paying for her to be shipped back home? How come the parents have to put together a GoFundMe in order for her to be shipped back? How come that happened? And for all these Keisha content creators that kept saying that she was doing her thing, that she had money, that she was getting paid, that she was, they try to say that she was well off. Where? Well off where? What are you talking about? There's no money. There's no money. The money that she was making, it was going right out the door, being spent on him. There's no money.
And this is coming from a woman that was hanging out with the likes of Kevin Gates in Miami and living that Miami life. And I hate to say this, there's a lot of black women that do not have financial literacy. Even the ones that make money. Why? Because as soon as you get this money, you want to buy this bag, you want to buy these shoes, you want to buy this outfit or outfits, you want to buy all this material shit, right? Pile up, junk up your house, and don't have nothing else to show for it. You would have a car and run that shit down to the ground. I literally saw a woman. I don't necessarily think that was a black woman, but I literally saw a woman. Her car was running low on gas, and she put cooking gas in the motherfucker. Have no clue on some of the things that you need to do. This is why it's important to be up under the protection of a man, not under the rulership of a man, not to be enslaved with a man, not to be um, um, in bondage with a man, to be under the leadership of a man. This is why we're in the chaos that we are right now in the community. There's so many women that just don't want to do that. And then they get upset when they don't get the results that they say they deserve. But what do you deserve? I got to really seriously ask a lot of you sisters that question. What do you really deserve if you're not willing to do your part as a woman? You want man to do this, climb trees, fucking kill Gamera, build a bridge, fucking build a house from scratch, pull 100,000 out his ass. I mean, y'all want men to do so much. But what are y'all doing? There are so many women out here that take advantage of kind men, men that might have a good heart, men that might see goodness in you because you don't appreciate who they are as an individual, or you might think they're weak. There are so many women that will run a man down mentally, physically, financially, and then when the money is gone, the bitch is gone in the wind. But want constant protection. Y'all got to excuse the background, and I don't know, outside is outside right now. But anyway, I'm not trying to keep ranting, but let's continue on with AC. Let's go.
They always try to make it look like, you know, they're doing so well when they're not dealing with us, when we know it. That's not the truth. That's not what the stats show. That's not what the data shows. We know what's going on, and we know about the bride worship. Her whole theme was to try to antagonize us by telling us that she was living a life, a luxury, a life of leisure by dealing with this guy.
And let's be honest, black men don't really care that black women date outside their race as much as black women caring about black men dating outside their race. We don't care. Do what you want. Do what makes you happy. But what's upsetting is the people that do these things, that so-called divest, that so-called want to swirl, that want to disparage their own people. That just shows the self-hatred within you. That just shows the lack of respect that you have for yourself and your community. Gives a shit who you dealing with, who you want to lay down with, who you want to, hump on and jump on and all this other shit. Don't give a shit. Men are not that pressed. Trust me, a lot of us, when we look at y'all women swirlers, we laugh at you. Because we're like, oh, Master got him another one. And she do everything that motherfucker want. The most ratchetest of the ratchet. But with Brad, she is quiet as a church mouse with a room full of cats pissing on cotton. Well, let's go.
They were going on trips, taking flights, and they were trying to make it seem like he was paying and he was taking care. What she was trying, what she was trying to pull? She was trying to pull a Rose. That's the chick name from Queens of Kings, whatever. She was trying to pull a Rose. That's how she gained her audience. She gained her audience by pretending that Timu Big Show Brad was paying for everything. That's how she tried to get that through customs. Well, not get through. She actually got that through customs. That's how she got all those subscribers. That's how she got all those followers. She got it through customs. So she was trying to pull the same thing with this guy. Probably, probably approached him and say, this is what we're going to do. We're going to pretend you're paying for everything, and I'm going to gain this large following, and we're going to just get paid off of that. Now, that's one thing I always said, that Brad doesn't pay for anything. Now that we know she paid for the trip, it's safe to say that she was paying for him. Now, what about what I always say about them protecting Brad's image? Her best friend made a 6-minute video. I didn't play the 6-minute video. We don't need to hear that. We don't need to hear her rambling. But at the end of that video, she basically was trying to say Joe McCann is innocent and take the heat off of him and look at the staff at the hotel.
Now, that could not that can't be too far-fetched though. Let's think about that. Remember, from the accounts that we've all been hearing through social media initially leading up to her demise, apparently they had been arguing constantly since they've been there behind the camera. When she wasn't posting shit online. Since they've been there, since the very first day they was there, it's been accounts from sources that they have been arguing from the moment they got to this villa. Right? The day before her untimely demise, they got into it, and the day after she showed the alleged proposal with the lion and the tigers and the bears and giraffes and all this other fucking shit and the partridge in the pear tree. The next day they got into this big argument to the point where the staff had to separate these two and put them in different villas. And he was put in a villa that was at least from walking at least 10 minutes away from where they was originally staying. And next thing you know, for whatever reason, we don't know what they was arguing about, but it got kind of intense. And I'm quite sure a lot of you people know how black women get when they are fed up, when they're angry, when they're pissed, when they're mad, when they want to make their point. It's all kind of chaos. All kind of chaos. And I'm not saying or not negating if he might have, like, after taking that berating, he might have not done it. We don't know yet. It's still undetermined. Has he been held for questioning out there? Yeah, he has. Everyone's talking about, well, how come he didn't send money? He was detained. They took his passport. He can't even leave the country right now to flee until they figure out what the fuck's going on. But to say that, oh, just don't look at him, look at all the surroundings, it does happen. Men have so-called passport bros have been unalived in other countries, just moving around in their country, and these people knowing they're not from there. And one thing lead to another, to another, to another, and then some shit happen. Who's to say that didn't happen either? But anyway, let's go.
Remember, she's not there. She don't know what happened. There's nothing suggesting that hotel staff had anything to do with anything. Everything is pointing at him, his history, the text messages, him not calling the family after what happened and waiting hours, and him not wanting to communicate with the family, and after that getting back on social media. Something like that happens and you get back on social media. Yeah, what? Like you just got into a car accident, or you just lost your wallet, and you went on social media and said, I lost my wallet, y'all. That's how cavalier and nonchalant he was about being back on social media, like it was just a regular day. So
maybe he didn't care. Maybe he was so disgusted with the things leading up to this in particular tragedy. Maybe he just was like, so, and as cold as it is, there are people out here that move and think like that. Don't think for one time that there's no one out here in the world that don't have no sympathy for a person's demise if they know that this person is a piece of shit in any kind of capacity, whether it's their personality, whether it's how they handle situations, whether it's they know how to conflict resolve, whether they always want to be in chaotic situations. There's only so much people in the world is going to deal with other people. Okay? This is why it's always good to be good to people. That's why it's always good to treat people, as a lot of people say, the same way you want to be treated. There's the saying always goes, hey, I need you to treat me the way I treat you. But what if you half-ass treat them person like that? What if on one hand you say all these great grandeur things, and then as soon as something upsets you, you turn into the Gila monster? What if you say all these positive things of admiration and, you know, affirming someone's, character or ability as a person. But the minute they upset you, you flip the switch and turn to the Tasmanian devil. After a while, people get tired of that shit. From what I'm understanding, they've been together for a year. A year is more than enough time to see who a person truly is, especially when they get comfortable with you. I say it again. You know who a person is after a year. Right when that person feels comfortable with you. So now that y'all comfortable with each other, y'all have a daily routine, a weekly routine, a monthly routine. Now the real you comes out. And the real you could be a sweet, sweet person. Giving, caring, considerate. Or the real you can be manipulative, condescending, narcissistic. And that goes on both sides as far as men and women. But y'all don't know the whole story. Y'all only going on the surface value. This is why I'm not going to make any assumptions of anything. But what I do know, for what I know, being a black man, dealing with black women, there are some black women that'll take you there. There are some black women that will make you want to put hands on them. There are some black women that want to make you take them 255 miles south from where the fuck y'all at, where they can put you somewhere. And I'm not promoting that shit, but you understand what I'm talking about. But anyway, let's go, because I don't want to be too long on this one.
All this information, and the fingers is pointing to him. He hasn't been charged with anything. He's been detained and questioned, but he hasn't been charged with anything. All this is pointing at him instead of grieving for your best friend and wait until you see what happens. The first thing you do is get online and try to absolve him and try to get him off and try to basically steer the heat from him to unknown persons. Why would you do that? I tell you why she would do that, because she wants to get with Joe next. She wants to get with Joe next. She wants to get in line and pay for Joe.
And guess what? That's another fucking problem in the community of the black community. There are some sisters that be quick to snatch up your man if they see you lacking. There are some women in our community that would take your man quick if they see that you have deficiencies in certain things, in certain aspects. They will try to take your man quick. And then in today's time, y'all women don't even give a fuck about when you do it, because you want to throw it in these women's faces, but yet y'all call yourselves sisters. Y'all call yourselves sis. You call yourselves family, all this shit. I've noticed over the past few years, more and more, there are more women backstabbers in our community than there are men. I've really seen and observed this shit. Some of you women in our community ain't shit. You're not. You're conniving. You're manipulative. You're mischievous. Your Jezebel spirit is on high. And all I can say is that the only person I can really blame that made you to be this way, because this is all learned behavior, is your mama. Because where your daddy at? Or if you know your daddy. It's wild work, man.
She probably was envious of her friend because she, Joe, her friends with a Brad, and she wants to be with a Brad. So now she's like, all right, her friend's out the way, she could be with Joe. There's no other way to explain why would you do something like that. She don't know Joe like that. She don't know him like that. She said that in the video. She only know a little bit about him. But yet you're online talking about, don't do this, don't look at the hotel's staff, and you sound insane. What are you trying to do here? It's the Brad worship. The image, man. I tell you, they protect their image. Why you think they still mad at us even though we did nothing? We did nothing. They still not giving that Brad no smoke. They still not giving Brad no smoke. I want to show y'all something. Let me show y'all something, because this is the reason why we talk about these things. This is the reason why. They can't just leave us out of it. We don't be bothering nobody. They just can't leave. And it's the reason why channels like mine are very important, because it started with them just not leaving us out of it. You want to be a Brad worshiper? Why can't you just leave us out of it? Why you have to throw us under the bus to justify why you worshiping a Brad? You just,
because they can't help it, bro. They can't help the fact that they feel that they feel all of what some of the men in the community that they dealt with that didn't really have the necessary mental skills, financial capability, or life lesson understanding to be strong for them. So, with that being said, for them to date outside of the race in their mind is get back. It's the get back. Oh, you had it. You had a chance. You fucked it up because you did this, you did that, you did this. And now I'm about to show you that I can do way better than you to a man that ain't got to do half the shit that you did for her when you was dealing with her. Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a kick in the head? The men that they deal with outside of their race don't do a third of what the fuck we've done for them. They do the bare minimum. We talked about this not too long ago in one of my live streams. Dorothy Hamilton, world-class figure skater, black woman, back in the 80s in Olympus, gold medalist, is living in a trailer home in her older age with a Brad that's bed bug infested and ain't left. Ain't that a bitch? You drop a motherfucking t-shirt on the ground, that bitch ready to leave your ass. Shit's crazy. But anyway, let's go.
just can't leave us out of it, can you? Look at this. Let's read it. Officially converted, no more broke black boys. White men are way better and they treat us Black queens like the goddesses we are. Everybody meet Joe. Another Joe. But I want you to look at how they treat Brad like a status symbol. They treat him as what they are to these Keishas. They a trophy. They're a trophy. You notice the wording. She, broke black boy. She didn't say broke.
And just to let it be known, and this might hurt a lot of people's feelings out here in the world. The reason why I say it's a difference between when black men date black women opposed to black women dating Brad, when black men date white women, we are sticking it to the white man because psychologically we're showing you that we can take your women. And when we take them, they don't come back. Okay? But see the difference with that dichotomy, the black men that do engage in that kind of relationship dynamic need to vet those women with a fine-tooth comb. Because some of them be agents. Some of them will only deal with that black man into something that they feel that they can get over on, and now they about to put you through the same ringer as your ancestors. But just to let you know, black men don't date white women for some kind of status symbol or trophy, bullshit like that. Y'all said that shit. We didn't say that. That was never something I ever heard come out of a black man's mouth, that black men date white women to be a trophy wife. Y'all said that shit. Social media said that shit. News outlets said that shit. Black men that said, show me one black man that said that I got with a white wife, a white woman to be my trophy. I've not heard it. But when it comes to the black woman dating the white man, y'all trying to stick it to the black man. Y'all give a fuck about Becky. Y'all don't care about Becky. Becky out the way, Becky out the picture. You see the psychology behind that? Black man do it to stick it to the white man. Y'all do it to stick it to us.
Black men broke black because they look at you like boys. They look at you and think that they're your mothers. They could tell you what to do. You're supposed to listen to them because they're from the matriarch, where that is usually what goes on. The Pookies are raised by the matriarch. They're raised by the Keishas there, and the Pookies listen to the Keishas. Why you think they're so violent? Because the Keishas are violent. But when they dealing with men, black men in particular, when they dealing with black men, they don't look at them as such, because like I said in my last video, they don't look at black men as authority figures. They look at them as less than Brad. They look at Brad, no matter what Brad could be a pool boy, and they look at him as an authority figure over a black man who's actually an authority figure. He could be the chief of police. And they will look at the pool boy over the chief of police. He could be a teacher, a professor, and they won't look at him as an authority figure. He could be their father, and they won't look at him as an authority figure over these Brads. And and we always hear they treat them like goddesses, but in the long run, we realize that they're paying for them. Brad, I don't know why they think Brad don't understand what's going on. Brad been knowing what to do with them for centuries. You think Brad doesn't know that he's the prize to them? This is what I don't understand. Why they really think that we don't know that? Why do they think we don't know that? Brad knows. You think Brad is not on social media looking at the Brad worship? Brad is on social media more than us. Brad is on social media. He's in a dark web all the time. Not only is he there, his actual everyday experiences with them. You think Brad does not know? On top of that, he hears us. You don't think Brad is in our space? How many times I expose these Brads for being over in our space, especially when it comes to my channel? They have smoke for me, but don't have smoke for everybody. I'm not the only.
They like to pick our brains. They like to see our behaviors. A lot of them have mastered how we move, and we've allowed ourselves to get into that position. So we can't blame them for knowing what they know about us as a community. You know, there are just certain communities that have certain standards, certain communities that have certain belief systems, certain communities that just have certain codes that no outsider can get in on. But what's so sad about our community, in the black community, we be so quick to spew all our issues, all our dilemmas, all our thoughts, all our motion for acceptance to people that don't give two shits about you, really, in reality. They don't. They'll accept you to a certain degree. You know, they'll deal with you and tolerate you to a certain point, but do they really care about you and what you got going on in your everyday life? No, they don't. They don't. You know. But I'm not gonna keep on this one because we need to keep going. We need to keep going. So I hope everybody's doing good out here tonight. Thank you for all the new subscribers that's been subscribing. I will take the time to actually go into my lab and figure out who's who as far as subscribe, and I will shout y'all guys out when I get the opportunity. So don't think I'm forgetting about you because if it wasn't for you, the Black Bottom broadcast wouldn't be what it is. But shout out to this other content creator that's talking about the same subject, Chantel Simone. She's another good content creator. Um, she has a lot of good things to say on a balanced perspective about some of the ills that go on in our community. So without further ado, let's she said what happened to Ashley Janae exposed Shira Seven's content. For those that know about Shira Seven, the sprinkle guard, you know, yeah, that mindset gets a lot of women in bad situations. But let's see what she had to say about it. So let's go.
Hey YouTube, happy Monday, guys. Hopefully, you guys are having a great start of your week. A few of you asked me to cover this Ashley Janae's story. Apparently, she is known to be bashing black men and saying that white men are so much better than black men. But unfortunately, she met her demise. Allegedly, her fiance, who is a white man, seems as though the evidence showed that he took her life. How ironic. How ironic. Let's listen to a few of these TikTok clips, y'all. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please leave your thoughts in the comment section. It's very unfortunate that what happened to this young lady, but honestly, you have to.
But I haven't debunked that because what evidence have been shown to us that can prove that he had anything to do with that? We have not gotten any concrete evidence that he did that. And I'm not trying to deflect or be contradict myself or be hypocritical of what I'm trying to convey tonight. All I'm saying is this: what proof do we really have that has not been concrete? All we've been saying, well, not me, but all I've been hearing other people say is speculation, allegedness. Allegedly, he did this. We don't know this. We don't know. We don't have any proof. We don't have any video. We don't have any audio. We don't have anything. You're just going off emotion. Let's think logically for a second. And I'm not saying that it's not possible. I'm not. But what I'm not saying is that he actually did it 100%, and there's undeniable evidence and proof that can show that, because we don't have it. So now you're going off assumptions and listening to other content creators put this kind of energy out to build this narrative, but yet at the same time, y'all not holding really him accountable. But yet y'all want to try to say that black men is just as bad. But okay, but let's go.
To be smart when you're dating. If you're going to date somebody just because they of a specific race or of a specific culture and they're providing you this lifestyle so you can stunt on your social media, we don't know what was going on in the relationship, but from the outside looking in, we can assume that the whole entire relationship was just for TikTok. Right, was just for social media. You got to be smart, young ladies. You got to be wise. And this is a perfect opportunity to use what happened to this young lady as a warning for other women. If y'all want to call it victim blaming, call it whatever you want to call it. But if it's at least one young lady hear this message and not get the same results that this young lady had, then we'll accept it as victim blaming.
Or you better get you a white man and get you this soft life. Now y'all know I would never do no shit like that. But that was Ashley Janae's theme. And that's like a new trend that I'm seeing. These black women that are in interracial relationships, they are promoting. I never date no black man. Get you a white man, get you a rich white man, and get you this soft life. Well, Ashley Janae could have potentially just met her own demise by this perceived soft life. Because although we don't know for a fact whether or not he kills her, it is looking very suspicious. The fact that they had to put them in separate rooms the night before she was found dead. The fact that I just saw a clip from the mom saying that she's had limited contact with him. Like, why are you not in the parent's face? This was supposed to be your wife. Why have you not either flown the mom to go be with her daughter, or why have you not flown the body back to have...
I'm so sick of people saying this shit. Bitch. Hello. Pay more attention to news. He was detained. His passport was taken from him. He can't do shit. And as far as we know, he's probably still in detention. So we don't know what's going on right now. But everyone wants to keep constantly making story after story after story out of emotion without concrete evidence. This is like fucking pissing in the wind in the middle of a fucking tornado, man. What's wrong with you? Get it together. Think. Use logic, not your emotions. You might do better in life, but let's hear this.
Have an independent autopsy report done. Like, it's just very suspicious. Oopsie, back to my last point, because while recording this video, I just saw that Ashley's parents launched a GoFundMe to help with the mounting financial pressures. Where is this white man? Where is this wealthy white man that was providing this so-called soft life? Why has he not helped with his fiance's financial matters in terms of transporting her body. Doesn't that seem suspicious to you? And the gag is, are Black people even going to support this GoFundMe after Ashley was just bashing Black men and got with this white man who looks like just killed her ass in Africa? Anyway, and Ashley is not committing no suicide on her birthday in Zanzibar, one of the most magical places in Africa. I've been there. This is one of my favorite places. As soon as you step on that soil, that beach, that energy, the people, the air, the weather, the just atmosphere, any ounce of depression that you might have had in your body, any suicidal thoughts that you might have thought you had are leaving you. But it is interesting how she met her demise in the motherland with a white man while bashing Black men. It is very interesting and ironic. This should be a reality check for you Black women that are thinking about adding milk to your coffee. Understand that white men are not an exception to the rule. That you may have went through your bullshit with the Black man. That doesn't mean you ain't gonna go through your bullshit with the white man. Okay? A different type of bullshit at that. So be careful and understand that relationships are just a mirror of your broken self. Anything that you need to learn, you're going to learn it through that relationship. And you're going to repeat if you don't learn it. So
I know,
be wary,
exactly.
okay?
I've never understood people who are like, oh, you should date a specific race or you should date a specific culture because men of this culture are this like this, or men are... It's like there are good people and bad people in every single race and every single culture. If you're going to date a specific race just because you're thinking that, oh yeah, a white man brings you a soft life, it comes with consequences. And unfortunately, this young lady had faced the worst consequences. Now, as she said, we don't know for sure, right? There's still accusation, allegedly. We're going to say allegedly. But I mean, by the facts of it shows that clearly.
That's suspicious.
You're telling me that the misunderstanding was so intense that hotel staff had to separate them in 2 different rooms?
Ever lead me to believe that she would do something to harm herself.
She's out of the country with her boyfriend. She's celebrating her birthday April 5th. Gets engaged to this boyfriend, same trip. From what I could see online, she's actively posting content during this time, even texting with a friend about the engagement. Then days later found deceased while on that same trip in Zanzibar. After hearing a little bit of what her mom said, I'm not pointing fingers, but shit. It was reported that her and the boyfriend got into an alleged misunderstanding. Now, her mother states that sometime after that, security had walked him to the room, and that's when they found her. And let's be honest, that is possible, right? And obviously, when you put everything together and you're looking from the outside in, the shit looks weird. I really hope all possibilities are explored, though. Considering they had to be separated, that means staff would possibly know that she's in that room alone, right? Foreign country, on vacation, beautiful girl, a lot of suspects. I do also want to point out, I've seen a lot of people online saying that her lifestyle is what ultimately led to her fate. Let's be real, that's a nasty ass thing to say. No matter what you believe happened here, nobody deserves that. With that being said, I think all possibilities are on the table. Vacation, birthday trip.
Didn't y'all say that about Kobe when he met his demise? Didn't y'all say that about Kevin when he met his demise? Remember what Vivica Fox said about him? Remember all the videos and the fucking celebration of his untimely demise that women was doing all over social media? Remember the Nigerian man, and I got my own thing about Nigerians, but he dated a white woman and used to do the same thing that Ashley Janae used to do online and talk greasy about black women. And when his OnlyFans girlfriend, OF Gorfa, I'm sorry, I know I shouldn't have said OnlyFans, but I ain't monetized, so I don't give a shit. But the OF model from OnlyFans, his girlfriend, sent him to the upper room. Remember all the shit y'all said about him? But what would I know? But anyway, let's go.
Trip, proposal, take your own life. You're telling me that the misunderstanding was so
it's
intense.
not adding up, and to her point where it's like her lifestyle led her to her fate. But it's like you live a certain lifestyle, you're gonna have to deal with certain consequences that comes with that lifestyle. No, we don't know them personally, so we're gonna say allegedly. If she was with this man just because of the lifestyle he was giving her, regardless if he was abusive, if he was narcissistic, if he was all these things you want to list. But if she's going to stay with him because of the lifestyle, then yes, the lifestyle caused what happened to her. It's kind of like these Kendra G callers, or any of these bottom of the barrel show. You hear them emphasize a man's income and put little energy or attention to his moral, his characteristics, his nothing like that. All they care about is his income and the lifestyle that he can provide. And congratulations.
You played yourself.
So you're telling me that the misunderstanding between this black woman and this white man was so intense that they had to separate them into two separate rooms?
Ever lead me to believe that she would do something to harm herself.
She's out of the country with her boyfriend and she celebrated her birthday on April 5th. She gets engaged to this said same boyfriend.
This is why I can't do TikTok. This is why I can't do TikTok. Like, you'll see these videos word for word, just different people word for word. Like, is it AI or do they write down the script word for word and repeat it? I see this.
No, it's not. It's not a script. It's not, whatever. I'm not even about to go on off with that in particular video, because majority of the people kept saying the same shit, right? But all right, y'all saw the thumbnail, right? About what some of these trifling women and how they move. There is and it's not a new thing. This has been a thing that's going on for years, right? And that thing is that the fact that there are some women out here that think they are entitled to date new men while they pregnant by somebody else's man. If that's not the most stank, trifling shit that I've ever heard, but these women are actually going to sit here and justify it. And shout out to my man AC Reacts, accountability commentary. He had another video pertaining to this, and like I said, this picture's on my thumbnail, so y'all see what that is. But this shit right here is wild work. But anyway, let's go. Let's keep it going.
About a week ago now, on my trip, and I did like the whole eat 'em up challenge, and I made the caption, when you phone a stepdaddy, you are ready for your baby, etc., etc., etc. And that video is currently going viral a little bit, and I've been receiving some feedback in regards to the video. Well, for one, it was definitely just like content, and I knew that it would do what it did. But two, I did want to address the topic of dating while pregnant or allowing another man to step in because the biological father of your child has made a decision to not be present or to not be active or to just suck, right?
But what really kills me about some of these women that do that, y'all have the immediate gall to sleep with these outside men that are not the baby's father while you're pregnant. And that's some wild work. And I understand some people are like, man, the whole saying, well, pregnant pee is, the best, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. To a degree. But any man that is willing to deal with a woman that's pregnant with another person's man, it's the lowest of the low of a man. But some of y'all just don't see it. Y'all think this shit's a flex, and it's really making you look bad. And you wonder why we have so much chaos in our community. But all right, but come on, let's go.
I think that everybody should do what works for them.
To tell y'all, and I'm gonna be truthful and transparent with y'all. I am 5 months pregnant, and I went on my first date last week. And I feel like more ladies who are going through your pregnancy alone, it's okay to date as long as you have good intention. My child's father, when I met him, he acted like he was this church guy, was always in.
Stop the press. What? Good intentions. They're terrible intentions. Your intentions is to date a man that's going to take care of your child that's not even here yet. Your intentions is to date a man that is going to step in and be a simp. That's what your intentions is, to look for a simp. Why don't you go back to your baby father? How they say it? Father. Baby father. It's not even father. Baby father. Go back to your baby daddy. It's terrible intentions. And furthermore, that's nasty. They're so embarrassing. That's nasty. Dating leads to tizzy tours. Yes, that's the reason why men date. They're dating women so they could take them on a tizzy tour. If there's no option of a tizzy tour, they're not spending any money on any dates. So that's the end game for them. That's the goal. And you know this, but you still go out because you don't mind getting taken on a tizzy tour while pregnant, and that's disgusting. That's nasty. They are so embarrassing, man. They are so embarrassing.
Church, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, always there being supportive, right?
Church.
We used to pray together. We would go, dates and events and stuff like that. But what got the best of us was the temptation.
She went to church with blasphemy. You so-called wannabe Christians, man. Man, I shake my head at a lot of y'all. You so-called wannabe Christians, especially in the black community. Y'all claim y'all so holier than thou, but be doing the most sin. That sin is sin. Like, this shit crazy. But anyway, let's go.
The temptation of the flesh. And us giving in to temptation, it did cause me to get pregnant. Once I
Okay to date? Is it okay to date while pregnant?
Most definitely you can date while pregnant. Who said you can't? Who wrote the rule book about dating when you're pregnant?
Men wrote
You
that.
cannot date while you're pregnant.
Men.
Girl, go ahead and date somebody, honey. All right. You still have the same basic needs. And I don't mean sexual intimate needs, but I mean like having the companionship of another adult.
Which should be your baby father, idiot. You're mad old and washed talking like this. What's the point of being washed if you don't have any wisdom with your washness? She's old and washed talking like this. The companionship is with the guy that you created the child with. How about that?
And what really gets me with some of these these hyenas that get on social media, they do these videos on TikTok or whatever other platform they're doing, laying down. That just shows you right there the laziness of a lot of our women in our community, man. They are lazy as shit. They make all the excuses in the world to not stand upright with their man. If nothing else, if you're gonna stand up upright with your man. Why are you? Let me ask you a question. If I sat up here in a wife beater, laying in my bed, making content, would you really watch me? maybe some of the people that's on a different mindset of time as far as thinking might, but is anyone gonna really take me serious? Looking at a motherfucker fully made up in all this aesthetics, makeup, eyelashes, bad weave, stupid looking fitting dress, and it probably looks worse after you see the full body, laying in bed, talking shit, spewing their emotions instead of logic. You don't take them serious. This is why in our space right here, we can never be without things to talk about. Because there's always something to talk about. There's always a subject matter. There's always a topic. There's always a reaction. There's always something that we can talk about. So thank y'all. We appreciate you. You give us a lot of content. Right, what's up?
That. How about that's not the responsibility of the next man? First of all, it's tacky. It's tacky if it's a newborn. It's tacky if it's a toddler. It's tacky if the kid's in preschool, middle school. It's tacky. But the child's not even here yet, and you are worrying about dates. Get your life together. Your life is obviously in ruins. The father's not there. Which means you're looking at a lifetime of poverty. You're looking at a lifetime of poverty. You know they don't make any money. You know they go to school, they get out with massive amounts of debt. They don't have high paying jobs. They're usually in the range of 30,000 to 40,000. With student debt, that turns into 15,000. 20,000. With credit card debt and the way they shop, it's even less. So they don't have no money. It's straight downhill. But then you bring a child into the world, and now you really don't have any money. Now your funds go down drastically with another child. So what they're really looking for is help. And instead of getting your life together and trying to get him back, what do? You go out into the dating market. Nobody in the dating market that's not a dustball, that's not broke, that's in the shizzy is looking for a woman that is about to deliver. That they're not looking for pregnant women. They're not. They're not. First of all, men with morals, men with class, they would never be seen out on a date with a woman that's pregnant, that's not their woman, that's not their wife, not their girlfriend, because it's tacky. It's tacky. It's low class. It's extremely low class. They're not doing that. Only males that are doing that are broke. Which means if you're on a date with them, you're already broke, but it'll be you be doing all the paying because only broke men will be interested in that. It's so low value. It is low value. Now, if you're talking about a tizzy tour, dudes don't care. Dudes will smash anything. A tizzy tour, no dates, nothing, no commitment. Yeah, dudes would do that. But as far as going on dates, dating, actually going out, yeah, you're done there. You're done. And all the, you would think that when they get old, when they get washed, that they would give some, talk to the younger Keishas and give them some, advice. Even if their life is ruined, they'll tell them, hey, listen, don't go this path. No, they want them to go that path so they don't have to be alone. And an older Keisha always hates on the younger Keishas because the younger Keishas have something they'll never gain again, which is youth. So they want them to destroy their lives too. Hey, yeah, it's okay to go out there and date. It's okay to go out there and get knocked up. It's okay to have 2, 3 baby fathers. It's nobody's business. That you still should get a decent man. It's okay to be out there dating while pregnant, while knocked up. It's okay. This is the advice they give them. This is insane.
Where my fellas at? I need to talk to my men for a second. I got a couple questions that need answers. It's been on my mind for the last couple months, and I need to know. So I need y'all to come to the front center. Front center. Ladies, a few of y'all will be able to co-sign what I'm saying, but I need my fellas to answer. All right, y'all here? So what goes on in the mind of a man when they approach or when you approach a pregnant woman?
Busting it down. Any man that is willing to deal with a woman that has a baby that's pregnant from another man's, he ain't shit. Don't you get it? Don't you understand? Because he know he can do whatever the fuck he want. Take it from the back, whatever the fuck, and you willing, because a lot of you ladies, when y'all pregnant, y'all ultra horny and y'all be wanting it. And he's willing and able, you willing and giving. And you don't even give a fuck if this motherfucker done had 4, 5 other situations going on. Or none of that shit. You don't check for shit. It's disgusting. But anyway, let's go.
Tizzy. That's it. That's all you need to know. Smashing. That's it. And let me tell you, even though they're putting themselves at risk, you know, that you got dudes out there that just don't care. You know what that spells for a lot of these dudes? When they see a chick that's already knocked up, they can go raw and splash all in that, and she won't get knocked up because she's already not. I'm telling you, that's what they thinking. That's what.
But then what's also so fucking disgusting is that you're putting your DNA in her with some DNA that's already developed. Just nasty work, man. Just nasty work. I don't hear too many other races doing this shit other than in the black community. But y'all want men to respect the women in our community. And it is so many women in our community that do this shit. And you wonder why your kids is crazy. You wonder why your kids have certain problems and deficiencies and ailments and fucking shortcomings. Y'all don't think about this shit in the long haul. Y'all just think about the moment. And that's what's fucking up a lot of people in our community.
What the dudes are thinking. Like she can't get knocked. She's already knocked up. That's what they thinking. And they like, well, who else is checking for you? You knocked up. This is the easy buns. That's what easy buns. That's what they see. Easy buns. And they know that it must be hectic for you to be out there searching for a man when you knocked up. That's a sign that the guy that you with, it's chaotic. The relationship is bad. So you're trying to get out of that situation, and they know you're trying to look for a new situation. So what they do is pretend they're giving you some hope. Here's some hope. Here's some light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, I'll do this for you. I'll be there for you. Couple of smash sessions, gone. That's what the guys are thinking.
Not just being courteous or helping, but I mean when you're actually like DMing or approaching in the store, approaching in public,
Approaching
and
in the
like
store.
really pursuing, like offering dates.
First of all, I'm gonna say this again. a man of class, a man of means, a man of status, a man that has self-worth is not approaching a pregnant woman to ask her for anything unless they're looking for directions or a question about what time it is or whatever. But as far as approaching them for anything other than something generic, something in general, they're not approaching them to talk about dating. They're not approaching them to ask them out. They're not looking at them as in a romantic or anything, as far as hooking up. And the reason why is because they have something you know nothing about, and it's called class. They see a pregnant woman, they think she's already involved with somebody. They're not even going there. Their mind is not even going there. Truthfully speak, their mind is not even going there. All they see is a woman that's pregnant, and if their mind go any further than that, is she has somebody. The baby father is involved, should be, because you only 3-4 months pregnant, 5 months, even if you're 9 months, the relationship it's still new. The whole situation is still new. He should still be there. He should still be there. So if you're asking men with class, they're not approaching. If you're asking men with no means, you're asking men that live in a shizzy, pookies that just came home from prison. Yeah, they're approaching everything.
And stuff like what goes on, because initially I was given passes, I'm like, I didn't start popping for a while. Like maybe they just think I'm a little pudgy, you know what I mean? But at this point, baby, it's obvious.
And a broad like you, talking like how you talking, you going. If a motherfucker just decided to shoot his shot with your punk ass, you going. And you'll probably drink, smoke, and pop pills with that motherfucker. Why are you pregnant? That's another thing that's a problem in our community. So many of you women don't give a fuck about the ultimate health of your babies while you're pregnant with them. Because you will do all that shit. Krishan Rock. You know what I'm saying? Do I need to say any more?
This is all the way here. So I just want to know what is going on in the minds of these men.
What do you?
So of course,
what
the
are you
bigger
trying
I'm
to?
getting, and
What are you trying to do?
the more persistent men are getting, I'm like, what is this? Of course, my mind goes to the whole story of the pregnant pea. We all heard about that. Child. So I want to know, honestly, like, is that the driving factor for men approaching or pursuing pregnant women? Because the dates don't slow down, or the date offers don't slow down. The DMs don't slow down. The public approaches, don't.
So you think that these dudes are checking for you? And what do you mean the dates don't slow down? What do you mean? Who are you dating? Are you with somebody? What happened to the child's father? Oh, you're trying to give yourself you're trying to inflate your value because you know what situation you're in. Oh, this is therapy. That's what this is. You're trying to cope. You know it's a wrap. This is a coping mechanism. You know you done out here. So you're trying to tell the world that you're still open to dating, and you're trying to give yourself, you're trying to put yourself out there No, you're done. It's finito for you. It's finito because if you found somebody that was dating you or anybody out of all the people that she said the dates don't slow down, how come you don't have a man? How come you don't have a man? How come you can't lock down a step dummy? I mean, a stepdaddy. How come you can't lock it down? Because even without you being knocked up, nobody is checking for you for a relationship. Knocked up, oh, forget about it. In what world do dudes look at a woman that's knocked up and think, I can't wait to get with that? I can't wait to start a family with that. No, she started a family already. That's what this is. A lot of them, you know what they do? They try to save face. They really do. They try to save face. They try to pretend like they still the ish. Wasn't before anyway, but they try to
But really, in reality, and I'm sorry to say, but I'm not. A lot of them just really just show just how much of a slut they are. I'm just gonna keep it 100. For you to be willing to deal with another man that's not your child's father, you are a special kind of ratchet. You are. In my younger years, I've actually had situations where I've met women in my dating days that told me, and they wasn't showing, you know, some of them that they were pregnant. And I remember in my ratchet whisperer days, there was one situation that I did indulge, and I regretted it because it was so uncomfortable. It was so weird to me. We had to position a certain kind of way and all this other shit, and I was like, "Oh, I'll never do it again." I think I had to be about maybe 20, 21, some shit like that. It was in my younger years, and I was like, man, and they'd be willing to do it. A lot of these women that get pregnant by these other guys, the shit don't work out, or the guy just like, left them alone, and probably was to a situation where, the guy didn't want to have a child with her. And she's like, well, I'm going to keep the baby anyway. And he was like, oh, yeah? All right. And left. But she still want to be for the streets. 4, 5, 6, 7 months pregnant. And y'all motherfuckers is wild. Just wild. It's insane. But anywho, let's go on to the man, O'Shea Duke Jackson. He had a lot to say about this whole Ashley Janae shit too. So let's see what he has.
I was checking out this video from a colleague of mine's online. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but he's a very brilliant guy. He goes by the name of A New Possibilities. He's a civil rights attorney out of Baltimore, and he's on what I would call the black left, the more academic left, and he had a real problem with this whole Ashley Janae situation, and he made it his duty to call out black men for doing this.
And so once this incident happened, once people got news of it, they ran to social media. And basically, instead of expressing concern about the loss of this young black woman's life, they were more fixated on the fact that she was with this white man. They were more concerned about that. And some of them basically were somewhat gleeful about the fact that you had a white man unalive a black woman, and they tried to use that as an example of, a woman getting what she deserves because she got with a white man. And before I go any further, of course, I support Black love and all that kind of stuff. That's what I'm about. But I find it sickening that people were taking secret joy in the fact that this Black woman was unalived, at the hands of this white man, because they saw this as an opportunity to warn Black women about white men.
Now, let me just say this, in dealing with what he's talking about. I ultimately agree that no matter what has happened, it is morally wrong for anybody, Black men in particular, to go out here and mock this young lady because of what happened to her. Okay? I'll give you that. Especially because, like, somebody is 45 now. When I was 31, 35, 25, my understanding of life and what was to come was I didn't really have a full grasp of what things were. I wasn't, able to really get developed, right? And to have a real worldwide view, really a real big understanding of what the world was. So you say stupid when you're young. Okay. Now, I'm not trying to say that she could have changed her mind eventually, but she's a young person. So a person that's 31 is not gonna all the time make an informed decision that they should make, even though they are grown, when you're 41. So that's the reason. And obviously she's passed away. But if we're going to say that, and I know that New Possibilities, he never included, and I noticed that was interesting. He never included the things that she said negative about Black men, never included her past tweets, how she wanted these white men. She never said none of that. But now I want to bring up this particular sister who came out with this video.
You feel like he deserved it. Why? Because he said y'all were still you're fast, actually. I want to read something to y'all. Let's read some quotes from some Black women where these Black women are being empathetic. Okay. I giggle remembering Kevin Samuels is dead as. Shut up, bullet. Got a free Derek Chauvin. Get some knees on these. Rest in preference. He made his choice. Team dead and gone. Rest in preference is so crazy. Genuinely hilarious. Every now and then I remember Kevin Samuels is dead and it makes me smile. Y'all really not gonna shut the hell up about Kevin Samuels dead? May that rest wherever the hell he at. Does that sound very empathetic to you? No. So I want Black women to stop walking around or stop going around acting like we are the morality police because.
So I'm never gonna forget this shit, man. I'm never gonna forget the vitriol and the hatred and the celebratory comments, videos, songs that y'all did when that man died. Never. Nor will I forget when Simple the P passed. And so many people wanted to come out the woodworks and disparage his name. And he always admitted he was a backslider. But if you ever listen to Simple the P's content, he had good information that you can take. His page is still up on YouTube. Sinful the P. Look him up. I highly recommend it. Okay. Just like I highly recommend, if you're not subscribed to Kevin Samuels' page, to look at his archives. Those are two brothers that really tried to push information, affirmation, and self-respect within each other, regardless of what side of the spectrum you want to live in. Whether you was living on the wild side or trying to be a better person. He had something for everybody. Both of them did. But anyway, let's go.
Because we're not, okay? Because if you were to get into an argument right now today, the first thing that many of you will do is bring up someone's dead family member. It made me dead granny, dead uncle, and whoever else, because you don't care about respect for the dead. You don't have morality, okay? You don't. You think that you get to dictate who gets respect and who doesn't. You think that you get to dictate, oh, well, this person doesn't deserve respect in life or in death. And that's not how it works. Okay. That's not how things work. Me personally, I don't disrespect the dead. Okay. I believe in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and I believe in the power of the tongue. I don't speak ill of the dead. But you cannot expect for the demographic that y'all have called bullet bags to be respectful in death when they were disrespected in life. When Kevin Samuels passed away, y'all rejoiced, y'all celebrated. Still to this day, y'all are laughing and giggling at the fact that he's dead, right? But you feel like he deserved it. Why? Because he said y'all are still, actually. Did he lie? But no, you felt disrespected. He didn't lie. You felt disrespected, even though you already knew you were. The women that called into his show knew they were before they called. But he deserved to be mocked in death, right? Because he disrespected Black women. Y'all felt disrespected, and so y'all mocked him. So when these men feel disrespected, do not expect them to get. I feel that's common sense. You cannot expect people to want to respect you in death when you did not respect them in life.
Now, ultimately, I want to talk about this video because I can remember, and shout out to her. Her name is Naughty the Villain. Check her out on Instagram. This same young lady has read all of these hypocritical comments made up about Black men who have lost their lives. And I find it funny that while I technically agree that New Possibilities and people like him, he's honest enough to call out something like this if he were to see it. I cannot say for sure that he would be as interested in making a video about this as he is for Ashley Janae. I just, again, that's one of the criticisms that I see from a lot of the Black men, especially tied to the academic left, whether it's in civil rights or some brothers deal with the Black church political left, gay affirming left, okay, feminism, immigration, those sort of talking points. When they see something to do with Black men, they typically become silent on the issue. And then when you get some level of misogyny towards women, even if it's not from a Black man themselves, Black men get reprimanded for even making commentary about it when this same young lady was giving Black men that energy. Yet you heard all of the things that certain Black women can say. And I can guarantee you that these Black women, when she passed away, they wanted nothing but grace for Ashley Janae. And I can tell you why. Because number one, if they don't have grace for her, then what about their dreams? Because it's easy to call a Black man a bullet bag or diss Kevin Samuels. Are you glad that he's passed away? And then one of your Black sisters get, unalived by one of these white men. And then all of a sudden you don't have anything to say. And then these Black men, especially these in the Democratic left, they come out and they want to go ahead and lecture Black men about how they're behaving. And,
That's why, because like I say, and a few other content creators that's on that same time says, our community has been raised by the matriarchy for the last 50 plus years. And with it being raised by the matriarchy, that takes out the structure of the man in the household. It removes the balance of the feminine and the masculine. It removes the structure of how a household should live. It removes the values, the core values of how a family should reside. So I'm not surprised. About a lot of the shit that's been going on in this gender war so-called thing that's happening right now, right? I'm not surprised. Not at all. But what I will say is that if we don't get shit together, it's going to be fucked up in the streets. Shout to Messy Michonne. She had something to say about some of the disparities of the Black women's community when she pulled up some old accounts about how y'all felt about Kobe. Kobe Bryant. God rest his soul. But anyway, let's go.
I found this article thing, blog. I don't know what the hell it is, child, but it said Beyond Black and White. And it said, a divested woman's perspective on the deaths of Kobe and Gianna Bryant. Now, I can't tell if this was just done. Oh, no, this is 2020. That's right. January 27, 2020, which was only the day after, if I'm not mistaken. Excuse me. I know it happened in January, and I know that we went on lockdown in March. So I guess this is when this happened. So it says on Sunday, January 26th, Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna died with 7 others in a helicopter crash on their way to a basketball event. Most people reacted in disbelief as Bryant was only 41. Damn, only 41. And although we know death has no age target, it's still hard for most of us to comprehend it when someone so young dies. His daughter was only 13 years old. Let's keep that in mind, as everyone doesn't seem to have a problem. And I'm not trying to just regurgitate that shit with any teenager. I was thinking of Anton's daughter being brought up and being having something depicting her being sold. Everybody okay with that? That's fine. I got a problem with all of that, but to each his own. For the purpose of this article, it says essay in the Bryant marriage. For the purpose of this article and the audience, I feel the need to address the elephants in the room. In July 2003, Bryant was arrested for essay. So this is what this person thought was the best thing to bring up the day after he and his daughter died. Remember Gail did this, from what I can remember, because it's coming back to me. I think it was Gail, one of the news programs, when they were reporting on his death, the first thing they wanted to bring up was SA charges. So this heifer here, Christian Monique, whoever that is, I'm sure she Black, thought that it was the most important thing to do the day after. Let's be clear, y'all, because when these heifers come through trying to talk about how dare you, you can come back with shut the shit, because this is what you biatches did the day after Kobe and his daughter died. The day after, here we are, an article. For the purpose of this article, let me start all over. In the audience, I feel the need to address the elephant in the room. So some Black biatch thought she needed to address the elephant in the room. She feels the need. Oh, you feel the need? Oh, you feel the need? I feel our need too, as we continue to discuss this Ashley Robinson for the rest of this daggone week. I was going to transition y'all, but we can't do it, okay? In July of 2003, Bryant was arrested for essay of a hotel employee. She was 19 years old, and the case was dropped after she refused to testify against him. He later...
Why? Because it was consensual. But for whatever reason, and this is the problem that a lot of men... Yo, what's going on? What's up, sweetness? If you missed it, I mean, you can always catch it on the replay. But what was so crazy about the Kobe Bryant situation, it was come to find out that it was consensual. She was of age. It wasn't SA. And just to quiet the situation up, he gave her some money. Because I guess other people was in the girl's ear to bring it to, to the news to try to bring Kobe Bryant down when that situation happened. And it was a big stink. Of course, his wife was mad, of course. And, he had to try to make up the best way he could with that. But when Kobe passed, when Kobe met his demise, you women shitted on that man's grave. Just like how y'all shitted on Kevin Samuels' grave. Just how y'all shitted on Simple the P's grave. And so many other brothers that dealt with women outside of the Black community. But because of this Ashley Janae situation, and to be honest with you, the responses and the commentary that I've been hearing from Black men is nowhere near as intense and disrespectful with what y'all did to those black men. Nowhere near. I ain't heard not one man say, ha ha, I'm glad she did. Ha ha, that's what you get. The only thing of any substance is that, oh, rest in preference. But guess what? Y'all said that about Kevin Samuels. Because remember, when he passed away, he was with a woman that was from Latin descent. So she wasn't black. And y'all shitted on him for it. So let's call a spade a spade. A lot of you women out here are trifling. Y'all think just because some of these outsiders want to fuck with y'all that it's all that. And they only fucking with y'all because they know you a slave. And you don't have no fucking loyalty towards your own men. Yeah, I said that. I done seen it. I done experienced it. I've dealt with it. I've witnessed it. A lot of you women in our community don't respect us as black men. So guess what? Don't get mad when black men stop fucking with you. Don't get mad when black men go elsewhere. Don't get mad. Keep doing y'all. And keep thinking that, the Brads and the Hectors and the Sean Shanes is going to treat you greater than what black men would treat you. I mean, keep thinking. But it's all good. Let's go.
Later admitted to having an adulterous encounter with her and settled a civil suit out of court. So a basketball player cheated. News at 11. A basketball player cheated. That never happens, right? Or football, or baseball, or any other ball. Wow. That never happens. He also publicly apologized to her, but admitted, wait. He later admitted to having an adulterous encounter with her and settled a civil suit out of court. He also publicly apologized to her, but admitted no guilt. Brian's marriage survived the situation. I really think that's what's wrong with you hoes. You was mad that he survived. His marriage survived, that his wife decided to stay with him and work through it. But it was no different than when Hillary did it. What's the difference when Hillary did it? Who else did it? I know there's plenty of people because they always sitting up there and with the person, with the man, because it's usually the woman. Let's act like we don't know. It's usually the woman that sits there right next to her. Stand by your man. However that song go, okay? But because it's Kobe Bryant, oh my God. Beyonce, exactly. Lest we not forget that, or we just gonna act like Lemonade was just some album that came up out of her ass, okay? I know that album front to freaking back. All right. It says, Brian's marriage survived the situation. The second elephant and the relevance will become clear in the next section is that Brian's wife is not a black woman. I want somebody to tell me in the Constitution where it says that black people got to marry each other. Bueller. I want somebody to tell me in the Constitution where it says, or any law that says that black people have to marry black people. Bueller. I want y'all to give me the section, the citation, and all of it. Okay, and send it to me, please, because we're gonna clearly have to do a live stream on that because I missed that. That's the second elephant in the room. Child, does she know what elephants are? I'm confused. The second elephant and the relevance will become clear in the next section is that Brian's wife is not a black woman. Like many black male athletes, he chose to marry interracially. I do not know Vanessa Bryant's race, but she appears to be Latina. Oh, but for some reason, when black biatches get with white men, it's acceptable. And whatchamacallit's bestie, of which I have that queued and ready to come out later. So the hypocrisy. Here we go again with the hypocrisy. So the second elephant in the room is the fact that Kobe was married to Vanessa, which we all know. We all knew they'd have known each other for forever. Now it's a problem because he died and she gets the money. Now you got to be talking about he didn't marry a black woman. But when it's Venus, it's wonderful. When it's Serena,
Serena. It's wonderful when it's Kantanji. It's wonderful when it's Kobe. How dare he? When it's Bronny James going to the prom, how dare he? Your hypocrisy is showing, bitches. Your hypocrisy is showing. This is why you get no play and you have such a hard time with everything, because nothing you do or say makes any sense unless it's something that allegedly benefits you. That's how selfish y'all are. That's how crazy y'all are. That's how hypocritical you are. And that's why you continue to have problems and people ain't trying to deal. That's why you continue to have problems and people are not interested in trying to deal with this dumb shit. Divestment equals callous. Everybody has their own definition of divestment, but on Facebook, it seems to mean Black women walking away from concerning themselves with people who aren't willing to actively invest in Black womanhood. What the hell does that even
mean? But when Black men do it, oh, they hate their mamas, they soft, they can't deal with a strong Black woman. We didn't heard all these constructs. We didn't heard all these different phrases as far as when Black women complain about Black men dating outside of their race. They weak, all that. So would it be fair if Black men did the same shit? Would it be fair that Black men really put on blast that because of our elders that were women that got so high and mighty with the Democratic Party and jumping on the bandwagon of public aid and jumping on the bandwagon of the child support system and jumping on the bandwagon of totally, excluding the Black man out of the community? Would it be safe to say that y'all fucked it up? Y'all fucked up our future? One, the matriarchal community in the Black community, which you women, men y'all fuck around with, and your children that are boys and girls, and teach them your philosophy of life instead of having a balance of a family. Would it be safe to say the reason why we are where we are right now, we having these teen takeovers and motherfuckers running wild because there's so many women out here that do fuck shit? I just had to fucking talk to my oldest daughter's assistant principal today over some fuck shit that happened when my 11-year-old having a situation in lunch of some 5th and 6th graders teasing her for eating a banana. And what they decided to do was tease her because they looked at her eating a banana in a form of committing a sexual act at 11 years old. What the fuck is wrong with you parents? What the fuck is wrong with some of you bitches that expose your children to your degeneracy? What the fuck? One of the parents even had the immediate gall to say, I don't see anything wrong with what they said. So that just shows right there. And I told my daughter's assistant principal, that shows right there what the fuck those kids see in that person's house. Some of you Black bitches is trifling as fuck. Some of you black bitches is nuttier than squirrel shit. Some of y'all don't deserve to have children. You should have swallowed. Since y'all such the whores that you are, you should have swallowed it. But because of the system and how you can get government housing and low income housing and food stamps and fucking child support money and shit like that, and you have no skills or no wherewithal to be a wife, you'd rather do that to be righteous. You go against everything that the Most High set for us to be. And you don't care. You don't care. Y'all do not care. For your children to go to school and move like that shows me that y'all are failing those children. But it's okay though, because after this school year, my children, we're pulling them up out of that school. We can't do, because my next step is to be on some other shit and meeting the parents face to face, and if I talk to them and they get out their body, then I'll probably slap their ass the fuck up. Because I can look at you and see how you're moving, see how you're dressing, see how you're talking, and I already know you're a fucking slut bag. And your children are gonna grow up to be slut bags and bums. All these teens that's doing teen takeover, mamas, bums. The shit y'all did downtown in Hyde Park, bum, bitch behavior. It's crazy. But anyway, let's go. I'm sorry for ranting so long.
Even mean? What the hell does that even mean? Invest in black womanhood. Y'all just be making shit up that don't make no sense whatsoever. Your mama and your daddy should be investing in your womanhood. And then once you become a woman, you need to do it. And then once you get married, y'all need to do it. But y'all don't take that path. So I know you don't understand. Got it. Just making more shit up that don't make no daggone sense, that ain't got shit to do with shit, but y'all keep on doing it. You'll keep on failing. We'll keep on laughing. And you can't change that. You can't change what we're going to say, what I'm going to say, because clearly you're delusional. Your delusion is showing. Again, and this is back from 2020. I've seen posts from many of these women who call themselves divested that range from some variation of, oh, well, too bad, to he wasn't married to a black woman, so I don't care. So with that thought process, I'm sure there's people who don't care that Ashley Robinson was engaged to a non-black man. So
no. From the Black Caucus Coalition, no, we do not care. We don't. So many of you bitches talking about this soft life, this getting with so-called rich guys outside the community. No, we don't give a fuck. How about that? If ain't no one else said it up until this point, I'm saying it right now. We don't give a fuck. Sorry for her loss. Sorry for her parents to have to deal with this tragedy. But the mama raised a whore. Let's just keep it 100. Keep deep diving into her history. She was a fucking whore. And do I care? No. I don't. Because I wouldn't allow my daughter to move like that, regardless if she's out of my jurisdiction and of age to move how she moves. I'm not doing it. Fuck you. Fuck you bitches. Fuck you sluts. Fuck you, whores. Fuck you. How about that? You can report this shit all you want. I'm not monetized yet. Thank you for the new subscribers. I haven't gotten to that point. I'm still at the black bottom. So I can say what the fuck I want. Fuck all you bitches that raise these whores. Fuck all you bitches that think that another man outside of our community is better than your own man. You shouldn't have had the child with him. You shouldn't have had a child with that black man, you punk. You shouldn't have had a baby with that man. You should have swallowed that motherfucker. You the slut, be the slut that you are. I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of watching for 40 plus years of you black bitches disparaging black men. I'm sick of it. I am tired. Well, black men do this, black men do that. After so many times of being tested. And I'm not justifying that shit. I'm not justifying anything throughout history of what black men has done to black women. I'm not. This is not who I am. But fuck you, bitch. What made him do it? What made him do it? What really made him do it? I literally saw a video earlier tonight of a bitch, a black bitch, posting on TikTok how she was beating her guy's ass on social media to the point where his head was bleeding. And she's sitting up here talking about who's your bitch? Who bitching you? Who's bitching you? I mean, degrading this man, punching him on a live video, physically assaulting this man. Let that be the other way around. Let that be a man beating the brakes off a bitch and recording it and putting it on social media. You're looking at her clothes tattered, like his clothes was ripped off his body damn near. He's bleeding by the head. She's bleeding. How would y'all feel about that? Honestly, how would you really fucking feel? I was triggered. I might show the clip Friday. I'm not showing the clip tonight because I'm already hot with this bullshit that I'm reacting to tonight. Tune in Friday. I'll talk about it then. I gotta let myself process this shit because that shit, man, look, that burns my ass to see some shit like that. It really does. But anyway, let Messi get a roll off. So let's go.
They don't care. We're just gonna go ahead and switch out some names and see how you like it and do this reminder video. And I didn't even know about this daggone article, but it came right on time, okay? Let me see. So she, meaning Ashley, wasn't engaged to a black man, so I don't care. You see how that interchanges real quick? Because y'all seem to forget. Y'all seem to forget this shit. Y'all put this shit in writing. Y'all make these videos. Y'all put this out for the public. But that's okay because we know how to get shit done. We know how to find stuff. If we could deal with the Dewey Decimal Catalog system, then we can figure this out here on the internet. There have been a few, though not many, that specifically named the essay case as the reason for their lack of sympathy for his death. Oh, so nobody cared about the essays. That's basically what that sentence says. Nobody cares about the essay that was so, oh my God, look at what he did. He did essay. He did essay. He did essay. Because that's not what y'all usually care about any daggone way. That's why you keep little mesters in the daggone family over to the side and just be like, you know how he is. You know how he is. and don't care what the hell they're doing to any of these children or sometimes even adults because you're too scared to actually do something that actually will make a difference. But I digress. I am an SA survivor, so I get it. If I were to hear word that my rapist died, I wouldn't give a damn either. Well, that would make sense for the person who was allegedly actually raped. But if you weren't, then I don't understand why you care. Now, if you were raped by someone else, all right, I understand that you might feel some kind of a way. Fine, get it, got it, good. But I don't see how that means that you have to take all your anger out on him, his wife, his deceased child, and his living children. That don't make no sense. That's crazy. And the man wasn't convicted, but I'll give you a little bit of leeway. But leave it at that. But y'all don't know how to leave things anyway. Y'all got to burn shit to the ground, and you do not care who you take along with you. You don't care who the hell it is that you hurt. So why is it that you always then turn around talking about as a black woman? Well, let me tell you something. As a black woman, y'all could kiss my ass. I'm not interested in hearing none of that, and I want to make sure that those of us that ain't like y'all differentiate ourselves because we ain't crazy. Now, I'm not gonna say I'm not crazy, but not crazy like this, because this is.
And I respect Messy so much for saying that, because there's so many women that get online and want to justify this fuckery that goes on with how the vitriol that you women, and I mean you black, some of you black bitches, when certain tragedies happen within our community with our black men. So that just shows that y'all don't give a fuck about us. So why the fuck should we give a fuck about y'all when y'all go outside the community and get the same results? It's a tragedy. I'm not going to sit there and say, and gloss over that. But why should we give a fuck? Especially when you the ones that be talking greasy about your own people. The self-hatred that you have for your own people. The lack of accountability that you have for your own people. Why should we care? Oh, that happened? Damn. Oh well. Shouldn't have been fucking a slave owner. What do you want me to say? When I see a black woman with a white man, yeah. In the back of his mind, he know, and he says in the back of his mind, I'm fucking a slave. Black men don't do that when we fucking white women. We getting back at the black man. And like I said earlier in this video, we don't deal with white women to stick it to black women. We deal with white women to stick it to white men. Black women deal with white men to stick it to us. It's a difference. Anyway, let's go.
Pure D insanity. This is pure D insanity. All for some famous person that you don't know, that you ain't never knew, that you would never know, that would never look at you, that would never choose you, that would never marry you or anything like that. And that's the part that I know that you can't stand. Child, you can't even get the regular smegular. So I don't know why y'all mad about freaking Kobe and who he chose to live his life with. He probably lived it with a woman who cared for him, who took care of him.
And contrary to what the fuck y'all bitches want to understand, some of y'all don't know his history. When he was 18, 19, he dated Brandy. He dated black women before. But Brandy was an upcoming teenage star, and from what I'm hearing and some situations and some content that I've been hearing here lately, her past wasn't all that great. She had a lot of issues. He was up and coming as a basketball player. He didn't need that in his life. That's why he left Brandy alone. See how that worked? And because his parents, his father and his mother, saw what was going on, I'm quite sure they had a sit down with Kobe. It was like, I don't think that girl is right for you. I know you like her. I know y'all went to prom together and this, that, and the third, but nah, nah, that's not the one. And you know what Kobe did? Left Brandy alone. See how quickly we forget about history. See, when you don't remember history, you're only condemned to repeat it. So it wasn't a slight on black women. It was just a slight on that in particular woman that he was dating. So, and he really liked Brandy back in the day, but unfortunately, it didn't work out. So he went on about his life. Y'all forgot about that.
Him, who had his kids, who supported him, who was kind to him, who probably effed him whenever the hell he wanted to. Okay. Shout out to the dude from earlier. I forget his name over on TikTok. And she probably didn't weaponize shit against him. And she was probably a happy woman spending all that daggone money and still spending it today. Shout out to Vanessa. With that said, there's something that is interesting to me. If you're divested, arguably, you wouldn't care who he married. Correct. I may be wrong, but I was under the impression the divestment was supposed to offer a sense of freedom. And if the first thing you can think of when a man dies is who he didn't marry, that doesn't sound like freedom to me. It sounds like insanity to me, because again, if y'all can't stand men, you can't stand black men, and or you are divested or whatever child y'all call this shit, then I don't understand why any of y'all ever have anything to say about any of this mess, and yet you continue to over and over and over and over again. Why is that? Why is that? Mind the business that pays you, but I know you don't understand what that phrase means clearly.
They can't do it because deep down in their commode, they call the soul, they can't get over the fact that those men didn't want them. And the worst thing that a woman can accept or deal with, I won't even necessarily say accept, but the worst thing that a black woman specifically can't accept is rejection from a man. They just can't accept it. They can't accept if a man ain't feeling you. They can't accept if a man has a preference. They can't accept that a man doesn't want to deal with your big back. They can't accept if the man don't want to deal with your auntie arms, that be making, be churning butter and making fucking potato salad arms, lunch lady arms. They don't, no. There's some men that don't want to do that. There's some black men that just don't want to do that. And y'all shit on them for it. But your mama, bitch, my mama's 70 years old. The fuck you worried about my mama for? I'll show you a picture when she was 30 and she looked better than you, bitch. And you 20. So knock it the fuck off. So knock that shit off. Shit's crazy, man. It's real wild. I hate this shit that we've gotten to this point. I've hated that this whole Ashley Janae has regurgitated a lot of old wounds that haven't been healed, because this shows the hypocrisy as far as with a lot of these black women and women in general that's on this whole feminist mindset, this whole whatever mindset y'all on. It shows that you got a lot of work to do. But anyway, I hope everyone had a good one. I said earlier I wasn't going to be too much longer and I'm approaching almost 3 hours. And for those that missed it, as far as if you're catching it late, man, go back to the replay. I hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. I hope it was informative. I hope you got some out of it. I hope that you get where we need to get at as far as understanding that we are at a crossroads right now in society, and the gender wars has only been heating up because people just don't understand that you can't pass judgment on other people. Did you hear about the man that killed? Yeah, I'll talk about that Friday. Because a lot of times, like I say, when things just first come across my desk, I don't want to just up and just um, react to it because it could be other information that I could bring to that. And that's why I like when I space my shows out because that gives me enough time to research things, get more information, better, conclusive knowledge and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'll talk about that Friday as well. But with that being said, man, I really want y'all to understand something in the black community. We're going through what the fuck we going through because of the matriarchy. We are going through the things that we're going through with our children in our school system, in our learning, in our understanding, in our music. I won't necessarily say for the music because the music is controlled by other entities that put certain things out specifically for people to consume. So I'm not. I'm gonna put it on the music, but I'm not gonna put it on the matriarchy for the music. But in the community, yeah, we got a lot of work to do, right? Until a lot of you women really get it in your get it in your head that you can't do it all by yourself. Statistically, you're failing in that. Statistically, right now, we're at the bottom of the list that we shouldn't be in, and at the top of the list that we shouldn't be in. And y'all just think that because you want to have social media status and flash fancy designers and stuff like that, that's where it's at. That's not where it's at. If you don't have a spiritual and an honest connection with the Most High, you lost this race. If you don't have a spiritual and analytical, understanding of relationships, you will never have one. If you don't believe that your children are the future and they're precious and you should really take care of them the best way you can and protect them the best way you can to make them a better version of you, I don't know what to tell you. You're losing a battle that you shouldn't lose. Our society has digressed so far in the black community over the last 50 to 60 years. It's ridiculous. This modern technology means nothing if we don't have family. And that's what's most important. If you don't love your family, if you don't love the life of building with family, you're already behind the eight ball. And it's only going to get worse before it gets better. So with that being said, man, I do appreciate everyone that tuned in tonight. I love all y'all. Shout out to all of my new subscribers. For those that didn't tune in, that subscribed, that just became subscribers watching my shorts, man, I appreciate you. Watch, my live streams. I know some of them could go a little longer than normal, but it is what it is with that. You know, sometimes we just have to get the word out. You know, this is Black Bottom Brass. I'm your host, Ross Lee. And like I always say, I want you to live as long as you want and never want as long as you live. And with that being said, we are gone.